Okay, so I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I've been thinking about for years. And while I'm talking, I'll show you some of my collection. You can see I'm a Star Trek fan. I've got the old phaser, the new phaser. I'm trying to find a phaser which I've been looking, but it's really hard. And the only few I found are really expensive from the very, very, very first episode, The Cage. Anyway, um, so for years now, anytime I needed parts, strange parts, weird parts, parts that you can't buy, I've been forced to think outside the box and make them either out of wood or metal or a combination, but almost never out of plastic. Once in a while out of plastic, but plastic isn't as easy to work with as wood or metal is. And so I've been pretty successful for years. I've had to do this, and then recently I've gotten my hands on acrylic, which is really nice to work with. And so I've been able to make my rotors um, using acrylic shielding on each end with cutouts for the bar magnets. Here's the Mendocino motor for the bar magnets. And so, but before that, I always just, if it was a weird part, I needed to make it because you can't really buy weird parts, right? And so for cylinders, I would use plastic tubes or PVC, and you get the picture. And so I did this for years. And then 3D printing came onto the market, and I was interested, and I thought, wow, that could solve a lot of problems, but it was expensive and it looked technically difficult, right? You had to know how to deal with STL files and slicers and all this, and besides, it was way too expensive. So I continued on. I continued on doing what I normally do, which is if it's a weird part and I need it, I'll make it. And again, I've been pretty successful in doing so. And I've actually gotten a great deal of satisfaction in doing so. This picture right here is a very old picture. My mom got it from an antique dealer, and she had it for years. So it's well over 100 years old. It's a really cool picture. My mom died and she left this to me. It's an antique. I forget what it's called. Anyway, back to the subject. There's my kid's baseball team. That's when he was younger. And this is the very first iPhone that ever came out. Not the absolute first one, but this is the iPhone 0, I guess, and it's in mint condition. It's never been opened. I don't use iPhones. I use Android. Anyway, so 3D printing came out, and it looked cool, but again, it was really expensive and a little difficult. Years go by, and I'm on YouTube, and I'm going on sites where people are doing 3D printing. And the price has started to come down and quality has gone up. So finally, the price has gone down to the point where I am going to start making my own parts with this Ender 3 Pro. I haven't opened it up yet. I did a lot of research. This is a, you know, sub $200 printer. Actually, it goes for $279, but I got it for like $199. And the box came in really good condition. I haven't even opened it up yet. And I did a lot of research, and this seemed to be a fairly straightforward printer. It's a partial kit where most of it's put together. I just have to put together the upper I forget what it's called, the upper bracket or whatever. And so yeah, with this I should be able to make rotor cylinders any size I want, end caps any size I want, even frames for holding maglevs and bearings and magnets. And so this really opens up a huge thing for me. So I've downloaded the proper slicer freeware version, as well as I create a program, an STL maker or whatever you call it. And so I have to learn that. And thank God for sites like Thingiverse, where there's a lot of stuff already there. And you can actually, in the Thingiverse app, you can actually select files that are purposely sent up there to be manipulated, to be configured. And I've already downloaded a cylinder file, which I can then just change the size and the height. So that'll probably be the first thing that I try to print, just to see if it'll work. But hopefully I can get this puppy built. I'm actually in my office right now. It's a mess. And here's a work table that I'm going to clean off, get rid of this old printer and stuff. Again, this is my office. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully the next time I log on with you guys, I'll have this sucker up and running. And yeah, stay tuned. 3D printing. Ugh.